This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.
This is MC Reggie Fresh from the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. And folks, guess who's in the building? A 52-year-old mother and a 26-year-old daughter from Birmingham, Alabama, have graduated together from the Birmingham School of Law. They are reported the first mother-daughter duo to graduate at the same time since the institution was established in 1915. In 2009, Mom's first thought of becoming a lawyer while researching and preparing for her own divorce. Her attorney even commended her for her organized work. At the time, her daughter watched her gather evidence for her divorce case, and she developed interest in law, particularly family law. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Daphne and Miss Edriuna Davis.
This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.
You said it, Dave. Yeah. That's why we give you all the glory.
Welcome to the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. Good morning to you, Daphne and Edriuna. And how y'all doing?
Good morning.
Well, anyway, I seen y'all story on the news and all over the place, all over the internet, and I definitely had to get y'all on the show. So the first question I want to ask you, I'm gonna start with Edriuna. Edriuna, I want you to tell me, how did this come about?
I watched my mom go through her divorce with my dad when I was 11 years old. I watched her. She became so engrossed with finding evidence and researching, and that's what made me want to be an attorney.
Outstanding. Now, Mom, how about you? How did this come about?
Well, when you have an attorney and it's time for divorce, you have to be ready for your fight. And you can't fight without ammunition. So I did my research. I got the necessary evidence and presented my case. And I must say, I was victorious.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, fellas out there listening to this podcast right now, all I know is if you go against some laws like these two, you in trouble. So now, Edriuna, let me ask you this. I know you young, right? And I know you said you had a kid. So let me ask you this. How did you do this and stay focused, and how did you find the time to study and, read and all that kind of good stuff?
Well, I've always made good grades all my life. I graduated from Tuskegee cum laude. But finding time to study, I just knew it was something that I had to make time for, even with having a newborn.
Okay, Mom. So now, how did you find the time to stay focused?
Well, Edriuna is a chip off the old block.
Yes, ma'am.
I pat myself on the back saying her mom and her father both are smart people. But when it comes to me attending law school, it was something that was spoken over me and something that I wanted to do, so I made time. It was very challenging because I had to work a full-time job. I worked for the Postal Service for 26, I'm on my 27th year, and my days were long. I mean, 10, 12-hour days. And then I had school at night that lasted maybe 2.5 to 3 hours, 4 nights a week. So I just burned the midnight oil. I was determined.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was about my grind in both places, the job and the school.
Outstanding. Now, let me ask y'all this. I noticed that all the news people was calling y'all because I seen it was all over the internet. So that's what made me want you on the show. So when people was calling you and stuff like that, how did y'all feel?
What's going on first? I was asleep. I was asleep, Reggie. I was asleep and my daughter woke me up saying, Mom, get up. Somebody just reached out to me from the news, and I got somebody else reached out to me from the radio station. Oh my God, our story is out. And I was like, what? She was like, get up, wait, I'm going to send it to you. And I looked at it, I was like, wow.
So now let me ask y'all this. Are y'all going to work in the same office?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom. Let me ask you this. If other mothers your age decided to want to go to law school, or just anybody, what kind of advice would you give them?
First of all, I'll tell them to put God's first. Put their hand in God's hand. Because all things are possible with Him.
Right.
My favorite Bible verse that kept me going was Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It takes a courageous person when you're of a mature age to attend law school, because you have to have discipline, you have to have determination, and most of all, you have to be focused. But you can get it done. So it's all in what you want. You have to sacrifice then so that you can get the reward at the end. There is no age on education.
That's right. Always room to grow.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Drea, now I want you to answer the same question. What kind of advice would you give to any ladies your age or anybody your age who want to become a lawyer? What kind of advice you got for them?
My advice would be to first keep God first. Follow your dreams. And if I can do it, I know anybody else can do it.
Exactly. Anyway, ladies, I appreciate y'all being on my radio show. It's a pleasure. I'm glad y'all was on the show. I love your story. And we're going to start with you, Drea. Do you got any shout outs for anybody?
Yes, I would like to shout out my brother, Devin Davis. I would like to shout out my fiance, attorney Bobby Davis, and my family.
Outstanding. Now, Mom, what about you? Who you want to give some shout outs to?
My shout out goes to my village. My co-workers who fix breakfast and lunch for me all the time, made sure I had something to eat when I was tired. They looked out for me. To my family who were very supportive when challenging financial times came about, I thank them so much. It wouldn't have happened without them. And to my sweetheart, Mark, who came at the very end, and when I was overwhelmed and didn't think I was going to make it my last semester, he was the calm in my storm. So I just thank everybody.
Outstanding. And people who listening to this, lawyers are very important. So it makes me want to give out my lawyers back in Kentucky, the best 2 lawyers in the business. I'm giving shout out to Mr. Scott Abel and Brian Abel out of Kentucky. Shout out to y'all too. Again, I appreciate y'all being on my radio show. And I got one more question to ask you. Could y'all please tell the whole world and everybody, all the lawyers around the world, what's the baddest station in the land and the station that pays?
The MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
And there y'all have it, folks. The 5-star mother and daughter duo lawyers out of Birmingham, Alabama was right here on the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.